Satan comes and whispers in Jeff's ear, "Oh, why don't you go cheat on your wife?" Jeff would say right off the bat, "No way." You know why? Because that's not, Satan is smarter than that. Satan's a lot smarter than that. And Satan not only is smarter than that, Satan wants to get an advantage. Satan wants to kind of ruin something, to defraud him. So you know what Satan does? Satan doesn't whisper in his ear, cheat on his wife. You know what Satan whispers in his ear? Man, Kristen sure is working a lot, isn't she? Man, she just, man, look at this house. Man, you really need to say something to Kristen about this. You know why? Because Satan wants to do what? Just start to get in a little bit. Satan will come to Kristen. Kristen, cheat on Jeff with the PE coach. You know what's going to happen? It's not going to happen. You know what Satan does? Kristen, and that Jeff is lazy, isn't he? Jeff doesn't know all that you're doing. He doesn't help, does he? So what has Satan done there? Man, all he has done, all he's trying to do, is just get a little wedge in there. Comes as an angel of light. Makes sense. Makes sense. But he comes subtly. Real subtle. Satan's not going to come to some of you teenagers and say, "No, just go ruin your life. Go get on drugs and drink and party and fool around with every girl or every guy that you can." Satan's not going to do that. You know why? Satan's a lot smarter than that. You know what Satan comes in? Satan just says, just go to the party. Just go to the party. You don't have to do anything. Just go. Just hang around. Just go there. You want to be liked, and if you don't go, people are going to think strange about you. Your friends are going, just go ahead and go. Nothing bad's going to happen. And when you get there, he's going to say, "Man, you look kind of foolish here just walking around." Just go ahead and get a beer. Just walk around with it. You don't have to drink it, but you know what? You'll fit in better that way. Pretty soon, Satan could come in with you girls and say things like this. "Man, you're getting old. You're already 17. Better start thinking about getting a guy here. You might need to just kind of lower your standards a little bit of what you want in a man." Everybody wants to have a boyfriend. He doesn't say ruin your life. He gets in there subtly. Just to get it. He comes as the angel of light, full of wisdom, making it sound real good. He's smart. He's tricky. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse number 11. Talking about how we fight Satan, and this will be a message for weeks later, but I want you to look at this verse here. In verse number 10, Paul sums it up, and he says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil." The idea there in the wiles is the trickery of the devil. The devil is out to do what? Trick you. To trick you. You know, obviously, Jeff would cheat on his wife. It would have devastating effects to our church, to the young people. But you know what? All the devil is trying to, because he knows. No, Jeff's not going to cheat on Kristen. They're still young and in love. But man, if I could just get him and his wife to have a bad marriage, then it'll do the same thing. He won't be effective at church. He won't do his job. I could just get him to do that. Makes more sense. And that's what that's what we all need to understand here. You might not say, well, I don't watch all this garbage on TV. I don't watch Walking Dead, and I don't watch all these things on zombies or things on vampires, or I don't read all those books, and I'm okay. You know, Satan still wants to defraud you. Satan still wants to trick you. And the Bible says the wiles of the devil are the tricks of Satan. Not going to try to destroy you, but he's trying to trick you to believe something. The word wiles there also means to crouch down, to, in a sense, to hide. In my last verse, as we look at his strategies, is found in 1 Peter 5:8. Because ultimately in our lives, in every one of our lives, Satan has an ultimate purpose. Satan has an ultimate purpose. And that is to destroy you. If I can get little children, parents, you need to be careful about what your kids watch on TV. What your games your kids play. What they do on the internet. We need to be careful because it's out there. We can see just from a harmless Scooby-Doo video. It's out there. You can go and you need to be careful, and you need to know what you need to meet your teachers at school. You need to ask your kids what you're reading at school. What you watching? Did you see any videos today at school? You need to be aware of what's going on, because Satan's always out there trying to trick us, and Satan is crouching. And the Bible says this for the believer. He says, be sober in verse 5:8. Be sober. That means to be awake, okay? To be serious-minded, to be clear thinking. Because Satan wants to get in your head. Satan wants to get you to think different. That's going to be my final point here in just a minute. He says this, to be sober and be vigilant, meaning wake up, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he can devour. He's out there. He's treading around. He's plotting against you. The idea of seeking there means to plot against. To devour means to literally swallow you up. Satan is out there. Satan is real. And Satan is smart. And Satan will do anything to get you to ruin your life. To have your kids ruined. It's what he wants. And he's out there, and he's real. And we better wake up. We better be vigilant. There's two reasons why. You go back to Genesis chapter 3, when we first see this angel of light, when we see this wise individual, this beautiful individual. when we first see this smart, trickful individual show up, he comes to two people. You might say this, well, I will never let him do that to me. There's a problem with that. Because every one of us have a sin nature. Every one of us have a nature. Every one of us has this nature that chooses wrong things. In our flesh, the Bible says, dwells no good thing. And it's constantly warring against our spirit. You might say, you might be saved. You might say, well, I have no question. I know the Lord. I would never fall for that. Be careful, because you still have flesh. You still have a sin nature in you, and you are not all wise. There is a devil out there that knows just how to get you. In Genesis chapter 3, I want you to notice, you have two individuals who have no sin nature. Absolutely no sin nature. They've never sinned. They have a perfect relationship with God. So perfect, they walk with God in the cool of the afternoon. They see Jesus Christ. They know the God the Father. They walk with Him in the cool. The fellowship they have with God is He is right there. They have the absolute truth right in